Hi guys, this is Shamika coming to you from ButtaBabee.com. Today I want to talk about heat, using heat on your natural hair. Everybody wants to know, can heat be used on natural hair without damage? I've come to realize that the newer naturals are scared to use heat, and it's because you guys are reading the blogs and you're on social media and everybody is scaring you into thinking that you should not use heat. I don't necessarily agree that heat is the worst thing for your hair. I don't think that it's the greatest thing, but I think that you can use heat if you use heat responsibly on your hair. Okay, and what I mean by using heat responsibly is that if you're going to use some type of heat tool, let's say like a flat iron, a curling iron, or tools of that sort, you have to make sure that you use them responsibly. And in order to use them responsibly, you have to know your hair. Okay, so if you know that your hair is kind of fragile, is thin and things like that, if you decide to use a heat tool, then you need to make sure that you are using it on the proper setting and the proper temperature. If your hair is naturally thin, you cannot use the same temperature on your styling tool of someone who has thicker hair or more coarse hair. Okay, so you have to keep that in mind. You cannot do the same things that somebody else who has coarser hair would do. For myself, my hair is very coarse. So if I decide to flat iron my hair, or even my daughter's hair for that matter, I know that putting the flat iron on 300 is not going to do anything. Our hair is going to laugh at the flat iron. Okay, so most of the time, and I don't flat iron her hair that often. Honestly, I just did it for the first time a few weeks ago for her to go back to school, and that was only because I needed to trim her hair. But other than that, I don't really plan to flat iron her hair that often because, one, she's 5, she doesn't really need it. She needs to learn how to appreciate her natural hair in its natural state. And again, she's 5, so she's just gonna sweat it out anyway. And that's exactly what happened when I flat ironed her hair. But to get back to the point, yeah, I know that putting the flat iron for us on 300 is not gonna do anything. So I know that I have to pump it up a little bit if I'm trying to get better results. Most of the time, I put the flat iron on anywhere between 360 and 390, somewhere in that range, and that usually does the job. So this is why you have to make sure you understand and know your hair before you start using styling tools, because you can end up with heat damage if you don't know what it is that you're doing. And that goes the same for if you're going to a hairstylist. You know how I feel about going to professional stylists and letting them completely take over. If you're going to a stylist, you need to also make sure that she understands and knows your hair, because there have been stylists who, give heat damage because they're not really sure of how your hair is going to respond to that particular temperature or that styling tool. So you need to be very aware of that in particular. Another thing is that if you decide to use a heat styling tool, you need to make sure that you don't overdo it. Okay, I wash myself and my daughter's hair every 2 weeks. Most of the time it's every 2 weeks. If I'm lazy, which it happens to the best of us, we get lazy sometimes. If I'm lazy, then it may go for 3 weeks, but I never really go past 3 weeks because it just starts to get dirty and yucky. But every time, most of the time when I wash her hair, I blow dry it. And the reason why I blow dry it is because for me, it's much easier to manage her hair when it's blow dried. I normally put her hair in some type of protective style, and it's easier for me to style it when it's lightly blow dried rather than, you know, fighting with it in its 100% natural state. And again, that is what works for us. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, then be my guest. You can, you know, style your hair the way that it is after you wash it. But I'm just sharing my experiences, excuse me, with you and what works for us. So the main thing is to not overdo it. I do that process every 2 weeks, and her hair is still healthy and I don't have any problems with it. Like I said, I just clipped her ends not too long ago and her hair is pretty healthy. So you just have to make sure that you stay within the parameters of what your hair can take and not do what someone else is doing, okay? The next thing is to make sure that you are treating your hair. Usually heat damage comes from hair that is not properly treated. And when I say properly treated, I mean making sure that you have been doing treatments on a consistent basis. Doing a deep treatment 1 month and not doing it again for the next 2 months is not going to prepare your hair for any type of heat styling. You should at least be treating your hair once a week or once every 2 weeks, and doing that on a consistent basis. Every time you wash your hair, I recommend that you do some type of treatment, whether that is a protein treatment if your hair needs that, a moisturizing deep conditioning treatment if your hair needs that, a hot oil treatment, some type of treatment that is going to prepare your hair for the heat styling that you're going to be doing on the following wash day. That is the most important thing. Okay. Again, it's all about preparing your hair so that it can withstand the heat that you are going to use. Now, if you are going to blast the flat iron and put it on ridiculous amounts of temperature, then nothing is going to save you. No heat protectant is going to save you. Nothing is going to save you if you OD on the temperature. So also keep that in mind. Okay, you have to be smart about it. Don't let people discourage you into, you know, if you want to use heat, that's your preference, use heat. Especially if you've been doing it for years and you see that your hair is still healthy, there's no reason why you should stop if that's what works for you and it makes your job easier as far as taking care of your hair. Okay, I think that is about it for now. So again, let me know what you guys think down below. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. And until next time, I'll be signing off. This is Shamika coming to you from ButtaBabee.com. Peace.